All right, welcome in. We are live. That's Deep. Tommy Z, Johnny Bravo. We've got a lot going on right now. We got PFL live as we speak. I'm personally sweating Talia Santos, and hopefully not much of a sweat. I know you've got her inside the distance as well.
Yep.
Do you have anything else going on this card later on before we jump into it?
Yeah, Carmouche inside the distance, and then I got a couple parlays ending with the under 1.5 in the Dakota fight.
Okay. Yeah, I've got
and
her.
Moldovsky KO.
All right. Yeah, I've got KO for Ditcheva. I've got Santos. Just I need her to win to close out a couple parlays that I had with baseball. And then I tailed Keg on the spreadsheet. So that's it.
Nice.
For this. But we're here to break down the UFC. So let's jump into that. We've got, 13 fights, I believe? Not the...
No, canceled 12. One, Iskarov fight's canceled.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see that. All right,
yeah,
so we
he's
got
fighting Robert Whitaker next week.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right, so we got 12 fights. Not the greatest card. It's typical UFC Fight Night, but we're trying to make money, so let's
I kind of like this card, actually.
Yeah, it's not a bad card. Not a lot of name value, but it's
I think there's some money to be made here.
For sure. All right, our first fight is in the women's strawweight division. We have Josephine.
Whoa, is this the first one?
Well, that's the first one.
I think it's the Mel Costa Norton.
Yeah, you know what? That's the first one I had written down too. So
yeah,
let's pull that fight up. We'll start with that one. UFC's got this out of order here. We can adjust on the fly. Yeah, it's weird that they have that fight first. So our first fight is not in the women's strawweight division. It's in the featherweight division. We have Mel Costa taking on Shailene Norton-Becky. This one's interesting to me. Norton-Becky, good wrestling, good power, but I'm not so sure about the cardio. Costa's kind of a dog. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. Yeah, I was high on Costa. He had a decent performance against Moises. Then he comes in and he beats Lingo pillar to post. And then I don't know. The last fight was just kind of weird to me. It's like you didn't really throw any strikes. You pretty much held fucking Steve Garcia's back for the whole round and then totally gassed. I don't know. It was just weird to me. I would want to see it because I think this guy's striking is pretty dynamic. I don't know why he would go to the wrestling game plan there, which was just a weird fight. Just then he ends up getting sparked in the second. Bad, where he's trying to wrestle Mergliata, I think, in the octagon, which was kind of funny.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and then Norton-Becky is just he's got good wrestling. Cardio could be questionable. Decent power, good power in his hands, can crack. I could see him rocking Costa here.
Yeah.
And I could see him being more of the aggressor, trying to land takedowns here. Yeah, and at the number, I got to go with the dog here. I got to side with the Norton-Becky side. Probably going to wait to bet it because it might get a better number. But yeah, I'll probably be on Norton-Becky to start the night with the dog.
Yeah, both these guys, I don't know, it's tough to tell because Steve Garcia sparked both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe Steve Garcia is just better than I think he is, but
to be fair, Norton-Becky cracked him in round one and hurt him and was grappling him.
So my lean here is Costa, but I'm not very confident in it. I don't have a bet. Yeah, I mean, if Becky gets off to a good start, gets the wrestling going, and his cardio holds up, it seemed like he gassed in that last fight as well. It's kind of both of them kind of seemed like they gassed. Um, it could be a Becky fight, but yeah, not a bad live betting spot. I do think at some point we probably see a finish, even though Beck is not really known for finishes, at least on the UFC level. But my
I mean,
lean
you
right
finished
now,
Derek Minner. You finished Derek
yeah, he
Minner
did. He did. That
in
was the
the
big
James
controversial
James
fight.
Krause gate. James
Yeah,
Krause gate.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anything can happen. He does have big power. Both guys can be a little wishy-washy. So to be on the dog here is not, it's not a bad thing. But my lean is Costa. I think I'm thinking later on he's going to be more active. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a good live betting spot. We'll see how it plays out. Our next fight is the fight we just had up. Is in the strawweight division. We have Josephine Knudsen taking on Julia Palastri. Another interesting one. I don't know. I like Knudsen. I think she's pretty good. Palastri, I don't know. I think she's flat-footed. She's there to be hit. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I like Knudsen as a prospect. I think she has some potential. I like her grappling. Her striking's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty high on this girl. Yeah, I like this spot a lot for her. Palastri still kind of raw, and I just think like Knudsen's just gonna be it's gonna be too strong for her, too skilled. I think this is an easy Knudsen win, but I mean it's women's MMA and these judges. I mean you never know. I mean one
Right.
judge might have it 30-27 for Palastri, and Knudsen clearly won the fight. So you really don't know nowadays. But yeah, I like the Knudsen here.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's better everywhere. Her clinch game's really good. Just overall solid. I think she's a good prospect.
Trains at a good gym too. One of Hamzat All-Star gym with
Yeah,
Gustafson
yeah. So, I
Hamzat.
mean,
So
I expect some big things out of her in the future. I think she wins this fight. Um, you know, I think she's a solid parlay piece. It's always tough to
oh yeah,
bet
I'll
the
definitely be
MMA.
having action on her.
Yeah, she's worth a bet. Um, but yeah, not too much more to get into with this one. I think Knutson should get the job done here, and it might go long, but I think overall she'll be better the entire time. All right, let me get this back up here. This is kind of out of order, so I gotta rearrange everything. Our next fight is in the featherweight division. We have Jekka Sergi taking on Weston Wilson. I'm not super high on Sergi, but it just feels like Weston Wilson doesn't belong here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is I mean Weston Wilson, man. Yeah, I think this guy is just not very good. I don't think he has a chin. His durability, I mean, if it would be in a video game, his durability would be like all the way down, you know.
Yeah,
This guy can't take a punch. I mean, and Sergey, I mean, I'm not high on him. I mean, he looks like his takedown defense is pretty terrible, and he's like, yeah, I mean, in the Jubilee fight, Jubilee just took him down and just beat him down. But he does have power. He does crack. He's kind of wild. I mean, I could see him. I definitely think he cracks him on the chin. Eventually, finds the chin of Wilson. But I mean, the numbers are juiced. I mean, it's like,
right.
and do I want to lay minus 325, 350 with Sergey?
Yeah,
Probably not. But does he probably smoke Wilson? Probably. So it's weird because
yeah. I'm right there with you. I
hard
mean,
to You know, it's just I don't know. Like I don't want to lay minus 200 on the knockout for Sergey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a round one prop that might be worth it. But even then, it's tough. It's tough because I mean Wilson is long and rangy, so he can make it difficult for a little while. But
like,
I
what
feel
if he
like
just takes them down, and lays on top of him for a round, and then he gets caught in the second. You know?
Yeah, I mean that would be the path. Take him down, just a path to survive at least for a little while. So yeah, it's tough to figure out how Sergey's going to get it done, but I do think he probably knocks him out at some point. You know, you could throw the inside the distance. I don't know what inside the distance is. The knockout's pretty juice, so inside the distance probably is too. But yeah, you throw it in a parlay maybe, but yeah, I think Sergey gets the job done. Should finish him. Probably, I don't even know. For DraftKings, potentially could be a big DraftKings score, but again, if it's in the second round and he got wrestled for the first round, you know, probably not worth it. So, yeah, not a fight that I'm super high on. I think Sergey wins. I think he finishes him, but not sure exactly when it's going to happen.
Yeah, initially, before watching the tape on Sergey, I thought like, oh, Weston Wilson, this is it's going to be a spot to make money here. And then you look at the lines; they're all juiced, and then you watch the tape, and it's like, ugh, I don't want to lay juice on this guy.
Yeah, it's rough, but it is what it is. I mean, I think he wins. You know, if you want to throw him in a parlay, throw him in a parlay. That's about all I can say. All right, our next fight is in the women's flyweight division. We have Carly Judas taking on Gabriela Fernandez. Judas making her debut. Fernandez has had a couple rough fights to start in her UFC career. Two grapplers who basically just took her down and controlled her. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, horrible start to Fernandez's UFC career. I mean, she's pretty much got dominated in both of her fights. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of her. I don't know. I mean, I guess she has decent pop in her hands. The striking's okay, but I mean, she just doesn't like really like wow me anywhere. Like, whoa, she might have an advantage here. And this Judice girl, I mean, she was on the Contender Series. She had like, I remember watching that fight, and it was crazy. It was like two girls like fucking playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots for 15 minutes. Fight. So I mean, you know, her cardio is there. She could put up volume. I think this could take place on the feet here, and I think the volume. I'm gonna have the edge with the dog here, and the volume and the striking. And then maybe if she goes, she could maybe mix in it. She's relatively new in her MMA career, though. She's like 3-1, so it's like it's hard to. Fernandez definitely has the experience edge, and you know, I'm gonna lean with the dog here. Pick the dog and think, you know, just low level women's MMA and just pick the dog. Maybe bet the split here. I could see it being close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. If the fight's on the feet, it's going to be pretty close. I don't know what kind of grappling Judas has. I haven't really seen much of her in the grappling department. You know, obviously, it almost seems like anybody could take down Fernandez and control him, but you know, I don't know if that's part of the game plan or not. If I was fighting her, probably it would be because I mean, there's a clear path there. But if you're not able to get the takedowns and control, then you know it's tough. So I'm rolling with Judas here. I do think she's I do think her striking is good. I think it's going to be close. I'm assuming it's probably going to go 3 rounds. But yeah, not a lot of confidence in this one. All right, our next fight is more confident for sure. We have Jimmy the Brick Flick taking on Nate Maness. Maness is a huge favorite here.
Oh, is that the next one? Just go.
Are we out of order? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Garrett Armfield.
We'll break this one down and then we'll go to the next. We'll go to that one. This one, there's not too much to say here for me. I mean, I think Manus wins this fight. I think he probably knocks him out early. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this should probably be a Manus should just probably roll here. I mean, Jimmy Flick's pretty much a one-trick pony. He's terrible striker, not a good wrestler, but I mean, he's got BJJ, and he could catch something if he's lucky. You know what I mean? But I just think he's overmatched here. I think Manus is going to be too big, too strong, hit too hard, and the durability of Flick is just not very good. So yeah, this is pretty straightforward for me. A Manus knockout.
Yeah,
Probably early, probably round 1.
I agree. Yeah, there's not much of a path here for Flick. He'd have to catch him with something. He was getting his ass kicked in the last fight. I forget the kid's name, was beating him up and then basically fell to his knees, gave up his back, and got submitted. I don't see Nate Manus doing that. So yeah, I like Manus here. I've got him tied to a lot of things. I think he finishes it. I think he knocks him out. All right. So what do you have for the next fight? Because I've got on my sheet here.
Well, Armfield high stand.
Yeah, that's the one that I've got too. UFC has that the card here. So we'll go to that fight first. This is all going to be all out of order, but that's all right. We'll get through them one fight at a time. That's all. That's all that matters. So we've got a bantamweight matchup between Brady Hiestand and Garrett Armfield. This is a good fight. I like this fight. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, interesting fight. Man, I kind of like what I see from this guy Armfield. His UFC debut came in on short notice against Onama, and I mean he had a decent performance for himself. And then he comes back in China. I think was it in Korea or somewhere? Yeah, and he fights Izama. I think starches him. And then his last fight was, I mean, he defended the takedowns of Katona and just pieced him up. I like what I'm seeing from Armfield in the tape recently, and he's at a good gym. He's got Trey Ogden in his corner, so I think he'll have a good game plan here. I'm not high on Hiestand. I'm not high on his striking. I think if he can't get the grappling going here, he's going to be in trouble and get pieced up and maybe knocked out. I'm really high on Armfield. It's one of my most confident spots on the card. I think Armfield can stuff the takedowns and just piece him up.
Yeah, I'm happy you said that because I'm also high on Armfield. Odds are, not terrible, and I think he could knock him out. Hiestand gets cracked in pretty much every fight. Been dropped a couple times, and Armfield just well-rounded game. He's got the striking, he's got the grappling. I think, I like him. I think he's a good play here. I like him as a parlay piece, and I think he could finish this fight.
Yeah, definitely strong parlay piece for me this week.
I don't like the way the second round's ending here for Santos, but she's back on top.
Third. Is it
the third? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, she won the first.
She did. All right, because what I had seen so far, she had looked pretty good, so I didn't like the way this was going. But
it's not getting finished, but yeah.
All right, so our next fight is in the flyweight division. I've got Tagir Ulanbekov taking on Joshua Van. Van's looked pretty good to start his UFC career. Ulanbekov, another one of those Khabib fighters. He's been a little underwhelming at times, but still overall very skilled. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Joshua Van. I like his style. I love his striking. I love his, he mixes it up. He goes to the body, goes to the head. I mean, I love the kid's striking. He's looked good. He's looked real good in his since coming into the UFC. He's really, really impressing. Good young prospect. But the thing I worry about here is his takedown defense here. I mean, and this guy, this Ulanbekov guy, he's a Nurmagomedov's best friend, cousin growing up, so you know the grappling's there. Got
Yeah.
great submissions, slick submissions, good grappling. The striking, I mean, if it's on the feet, this is Josh Van all day. But I mean, I find it hard to see that Ulanbekov's not just going to be glued to this guy. Whether Van is trying to get up and just getting, I find it hard early. The only thing I can see a path for is if maybe Ulanbekov's wrestling for 2 rounds and he just death gasses in the third, and then Van's cardio is great.
Yeah.
And so maybe Ulanbekov gasses and then Van puts it on him in that 3rd round. But as much of a fan I am of Van, I'm going to have to pick Ulanbekov here with the grappling upside and the submission upside here, I think. But this could also be another good live betting opportunity where if you see Van stuffing those takedowns and being able to get back to his feet and create space and throw his hands, this would be definitely a snap bet for live betting purposes.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not a bad thought there. Like you, I'm with Ulanbekov. I just think one of the things that makes it tough to pick against him is even when things aren't going right, he can snatch up a neck so quickly. And when he gets on a choke, it's like it's over. I mean, it's pretty much a wrap. Yeah, I like Van. I love his cardio. The dude's got heart. He's going to go forward. And yeah, if he can stuff some takedowns and make it ugly as the fight gets late, if Ulanbekov doesn't do a lot in the grappling department, I could see it getting ugly. But yeah, I have to roll with Ulanbekov here. I think finishing upside is there just because the chokes, I mean, he can catch them from anywhere. And then I do think he's going to be successful in the grappling for the most part. So yeah, it could get ugly late, but I like Ulanbekov. All right, our next fight is this is an interesting one. In the welterweight division, we have Josh Quinlan taking on Adam Fugit. I've been up and down on with both of these guys. I mean, I thought Fugit was really good when he made his debut. I was impressed. I don't know, soured on him a little bit lately, but Josh Quinlan, tough to be confident in him. He's got some power. It's no longer USADA, so maybe he's back on the sweet sauce that was getting him all the knockouts. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I really don't like this fight at all. 2 guys I really not high on.
Yeah.
I mean, Fugit, I guess he's got decent striking. Decent striking, I guess. Decent wrestling, below average, but not really nothing impressive. Just a below average fighter, not even if that. I mean, it was impressive in the Kinoshita fight how he was able to endure that pressure and then eventually find the knockout. But
yeah,
I'm not high on him. I would need more plus money here to back him. And then Quinlan is just I've never been high on this guy either. Low volume isn't really. I mean, I guess he has power, but I mean we haven't really seen it lately.
right.
So it's just like, I mean, he got absolutely beat down in that Barlow fight in the 3rd round. He took a lot of damage there. I question his chin too. Yeah, this is a fight where I'm not really confident in either side, but if I would have to lean and pick a winner, I guess Quinlan. But yeah, this fight is just probably a pass for me.
Yeah, it's probably a pass for me as well. I am picking Quinlan officially because, I mean, Fugit is pretty hittable, and he does get cracked a lot. And I think Quinlan could find the chin. If I was going to place a bet, I'd probably bet Quinlan by knockout. But yeah, this is just low level. You don't really know what you're going to get out of either guy. I guess we'll see what these guys look like at weigh-ins. If Quinlan looks, jacked up a little bit, maybe I'll throw down on the KO bet. But Yeah, I think for the most part, this fight's going to be a pass for me. I just don't think either guy's very good, and I don't really want to waste my money on two guys I don't like.
Yeah. Maybe an under. What's the under?
Yeah, under could be live. I didn't look at the line.
2.5 minus 135. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe someone gets
I can see
smart.
it. I mean, I feel like if Quinlan wins, that's 100% how he wins.
Yeah. Well,
Fugit could make it, a longer fight. But again, one thing I didn't like about Quinlan is the last two fights he's been in, his eye has basically been shut at the end of the fight. So
yeah.
if he takes a couple on that right eye, is it going to shut and could be a doctor stoppage? Who knows what could happen? But I do think Quinlan could get him out of there. And I don't like either guy. Quinlan's the official pick, but not high on either. All right, our next fight is in the flyweight division. We have Asu Ulimbayev taking on Jose Johnson. Jose Johnson, very scrambly, can be taken down a lot, but his scrambles are pretty solid. He's long for the division, rangy. Almabayev, he's a very good grappler, got a very good record, knows how to win fights. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I'm high on Mbayev. I think the kid's good. I think he's got good striking. Another one of these guys that can just grapple fuck you for 15 minutes. He's got good submissions. He knows how to get to the back. He's slick on the ground. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's a minus 650 favorite for a reason, because other people obviously, And Johnson, yeah, this is interesting. I'm not really high on this guy, but I mean he has some skills, and he's got power in his hands. He's 6 foot, and this is his first time dropping to 125 pounds, which is going to be interesting. He's going to be massive in there. He's going to have a big size advantage in there. He's going to hit hard.
He reminds me a lot of Charles Johnson. It's like the same guy. He's tough. He's tough everywhere, but you can get him. Like he can be taken down.
Yeah, his takedown defense is not very good. He's going to be massive in there though. According to
that's the thing that's going to be interesting. Yeah,
it's like I want to see weigh-ins here and see what this looks like, because if this dude can make weight, I mean, he's going to have a big size advantage. But I just think the skill set of Asu is just better everywhere.
Right.
I think he probably finds the sub here. Yeah, but I mean, minus 750 now.
That number just keeps climbing.
It keeps climbing and going up, so it's like nothing really you can do with the money line. I mean, unless you take a shot, sub, or
sub. Sub is very live. That's probably the way I would bet it. I don't think there's any other way.
Minus 110. It's minus 110. So
the only other thing, an over is possible in this fight for sure. It's like I said, Jose Johnson reminds me a lot of Charles Johnson, where even in fights where he's losing the entire time, he can. Although I say that, and then he got subbed a couple fights ago. I forget who it was. Damon Blackshear, I think, got him in a twister.
Yeah, they put him in the twister, yeah.
But again, Blackshear, he's a longer guy too, so I don't know. But this is a tough one. I mean, I think Almabayev is the play here. I just not really sure.
Whether you think he gets the sub or he just backpacks him for 3 rounds and gets the decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you got a lot.
Maybe Almabayev to win in round 2 to start. What is that? Minus 160.
Yeah.
Almabayev and over 1.5.
I mean, if you want to throw that in a parlay,
Almabayev and over 1.5. Over 1.5 is minus 135. That's,
yeah, I mean, I could see that. Like, That's really the only way you're going
I
to be
can
able to
see
make
him being on his back, just having his back and just, you know.
Yeah, and he could have, like Johnson scrambles pretty well. So he takes him down, he scrambles, gets back up, takes him down, scrambles. Like I could see it. I could see that kind of a first round. So yeah, I mean the over 1.5. I'm interested in that. I think that's a bet that I'll probably play.
Yeah.
All right. Our next fight, let me see, make sure I got this up here. Yep. Is in the, I think this is the featherweight division. It is, yes. We have Timmy Kawamba taking on Lucas Almeida.
Well, Miles
No?
Johns.
I got Miles Johns.
This Kwamba's co-main, right?
Oh, then that's this is completely out of order then. All right, we'll pull that one up. Yeah, this is the order on this is I should have looked before we. All right, here we go. Got a bantamweight bout. Douglas Silva de Andrade taking on Miles Johns. Two guys, pretty much 135 pounds of granite here. Both guys pretty explosive. Both guys solid wrestlers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is interesting. Initially, I thought I would be on Douglas De Silva Andrade. I've never been a big Miles Johns guy. But I don't know. This guy, I have questions about the age of Andrade and the cardio. I mean, and if Miles Johns, I mean, if he goes to the grappling heavy game plan here, I mean, I think he can have some success here. He's he's got some power in his hands, Johns, but he is relatively low volume.
Yeah.
This is another one where it's like neither guy I really like, but
right.
Thinking about it, processing everything that I've watched and I've seen on tape, I'm gonna probably be on the Miles Johns side here because I've talked myself and convinced myself that Miles Johns is the side here. So I think Miles Johns going to be able to get the grappling going, push a pace on him. If Miles Johns doesn't gas himself, but I mean he looked good in his last fight. He went 3 hard rounds. So,
yeah.
Also fighting out of that Ogden camp, so I like their game planning. And I think I mean take this guy down, beat him up on the ground, wear him down, grind on him, take his energy, and probably win a decision. John's probably by decision, like John's here.
Yeah,
but not very confident. Not confident, but yeah.
I had a similar thought too going into it, and I've never really been a big Miles Johns fan either, and it's burned me on a number of occasions. But I do like Silva de Andrade's takedown defense. He is tough to take down, and he does have good get-ups. He has good power. I think this fight's going to be just 3 rounds, close fight. Both guys can crack. Both guys get hit as well. So, I mean, it could get ugly. I think it's going to be a long fight. I like the over here. Actually, I mean, I don't even know what the number is, but I think this is probably going to a decision, despite the fact that, both guys do have power. I think there's going to be a lot of grappling, a lot of scrambles. And I think both guys probably be a little bit tired in the 3rd round. I know John's cardio did look better in that last fight. But I'm not sure if that was his opponent just not being on the level with him. He basically grappled with a guy. Well, his opponent, I can't think of his name right now. He's from The Ultimate Fighter. He came out with a wrestling game plan, and I don't know if that was necessarily the best way to fight Miles Johns. So John's cardio did look better there. I just feel like he was the stronger guy. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to roll with Silva de Andrade as the dog. I've backed this guy a few times. You know, it's hit or miss with him. But, yeah, I
He
think
had a
it's
good
close
fight
enough.
against Stamen. Good fight
Yeah,
against Stamen in his last fight, but then completely death gassed in the third. So
right. And that's the thing. I mean, yeah, Miles Johns could completely take this fight over late, you know, and I think if he won the fight, that's probably what happens is he just takes over late. But yeah, I'm going to take the shot
I could
here.
see it being I could also see this being a close fight, like a split maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we've seen the way the judging is going. Um, yeah, I mean, it could be
Yeah,
interesting.
see that they know the split. Like Miles John by split is plus 600 to Silva Andrade is 900. So
Yeah.
that's right around the 350, 400 mark. So yeah,
All right. What fight do you have next on your sheet? Because I'm
it's the Kwamba fight.
okay. Get that one out there. I'm all out of sorts here now. So
We got 2 fights left.
all right. So we've got in the featherweight division, we've got Timmy Kwamba taking on. I get it up there. We go. Lucas Almeida. Kwamba, we saw him his debut not that long ago. Solid fight. Not a ton of volume, but you know, looked okay. Lucas Almeida coming off a couple losses, but I don't know, man. I think this guy's better than he's shown. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, interesting one. Kwamba, I mean, relatively not like we don't really know too much about him. I mean, he's got decent striking. I guess he can mix in the grappling if he wants, but he's gonna want to keep it on the feet. Relatively low volume, like you said, but his striking does look crisp. It does look good. I mean, he held his own against a guy who everybody thought was gonna go in there and spark him in Oki. He stood in there. He fought. Somehow, one of the judges gave him the fight, and he got a split. He lost split decision to Oki.
Yeah,
So I mean, that in itself was pretty impressive because I thought he was going to go out there and get starched. But yeah, he held his own. And Almeida in his last 2 performances have just been dreadful. You know,
yeah,
I don't know what to make of it. I mean, his UFC debut was pretty good. He faced some adversity, and he's got good striking. He's got good, decent grappling. He's got power in his hands. I don't know. This one seems like a dog or pass for me. Or I might take the shot on Almeida here to maybe catching him with something unorthodox or something. I'm not too high on Kwamba. This is another dog or pass situation for me. So
yeah. I'm right
yeah,
there with
I
you,
like
man.
Almeida. Probably take the shot on Almeida.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Almeida, the volume's going to be there. He does get hit a lot, but so does Kwamba. We saw that. He
Well, I
basically
want him to throw volume. His last couple fights, he really didn't throw anything. So I need him throwing punches here. If you throw your hands, I think you can catch him on the chin.
Yeah, I think yeah, if he's going forward, throwing volume, mixing it up, I think he's worth a shot here. I'm on Almeida. I just think he's better than what we've seen in the last couple of fights. I could be crazy, but I don't think Kwamba. I haven't seen anything from him to really fear picking against him. So yeah, I mean, I like Almeida. I'll take the shot here, and you know, we'll see what happens. But I feel all right. I think he's much better than what we've seen, and I think he can get the job done here.
Yeah.
All right. So you told me before the
It's
Ikram
Alex
fight
Perez. Yeah.
is
It's
canceled.
Alex
Okay.
Perez.
So we are on to the main event here. So the main event is another flyweight fight.
Ooh.
We have Alex Perez, his 3rd fight of 2024 after taking quite a bit of time off. Taking on Tatsuro Taira, undefeated. Kid looks like the real deal. I think we'll find out on Saturday how good he really is. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. The resurgence of Alex Perez. I mean, everybody thought he was pretty much, done. Hadn't fought. Had a lot of injuries. Always was missing weight. And then he comes back, and the performances he's had have been pretty impressive. And Sparks Nicolau in the last fight, fought Makayev close. Yeah, the guy's got the skill set. He's got good takedown defense, good striking, decent grappling, jiu-jitsu, submission game. It depends but this is a quick turnaround. Like, is he ready to go? Is he like gonna make weight? I don't know if I should have that concern anymore.
Right.
It's kind of weird. Is he back? Like, is this guy like, because he was a contender. He did fight for the title. So, and this Taira kid. Yeah, his losses are to fucking Figgy and Pantoja. Yeah, so Taira though, I'm pretty high on this Taira kid. I like this Taira kid. I think his striking is developing. He's pretty fast. He's super fast on the feet. He's got great takedown, great grappling, great entry, slick on the ground, can get to the back, catch submissions. Yeah, this is another tough one. This was another tough one for me. I've been going back and forth all week, but yeah, I'm going to have to pick Taira. I think Taira gets the job done. I think he's got the potential. I think UFC are kind of setting him up here. Yeah, I think Taira gets the job done. Probably subs him, maybe in round 2 or 3. Yeah, I like Taira.
Yeah, so I like Taira to finish by sub. I think if you're betting him, that's probably the way you should bet him. I'm taking a shot on Perez here. I think the early part of this fight is going to be dangerous. The sub is live. Perez, when he loses, it's almost exclusively by sub. I think he's been knocked out once. I don't think he's ever lost a decision. So mostly subs on his loss record. So that's the big fear here. His striking's really good. He can strike with anybody. 5-round fight, high-level fight, close fight. I like taking the dog shot here, but again, like, I think Taira could find a sub at any point, and that's the risk you run. But I don't know. I think Perez, he looks good. He's basically, like I said, he's lost to all the top guys in the division. So yeah, I'm taking the dog shot. I think it's going to be a great fight. I hope it kind of extends for a little while, because I do want to see if Taira really is that guy. I kind of want to see what he looks like over a longer fight against a high level guy. But yeah, I'm going to roll with the dog here and see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting main event. I think. Can Taira get the takedowns? And but I think Taira, even on the feet, Taira can crack on the feet.
Yeah, he's good. The kid striking. He looks like the real deal.
He's got good kicks. It's going to be an interesting fight.
It's a good fight. It's a fun fight. I can't wait to watch it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun weekend. So that's it. We've got 12 fights broken down. We will be live Saturday night. We have NASCAR, of course, all weekend. We got PFL going right now.
It's a late card too.
Is it? I thought I saw it start.
No, it starts at 4 my time, so 7. So the main event won't go up till like 1:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
That's the East Coast, right? East Coast
gets
to watch the fight at 1 a.m. They get to watch the fight at 1 a.m.
Give me West Coast time all day for sports. I can't see how anybody disagrees with that, but apparently a lot of guys do. So But I'm with you, man. I would take the West Coast time all day.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll wrap this up. Watch the PFL finish up here. Hopefully, we can cash some tickets there. And I guess until next time, good luck this weekend.
See you later, boys. See you this weekend.